Hello, everybody. I regret very much that my schedule does not allow me to be with you in person at this year's Upward Bound Jamboree, but I very much appreciate the opportunity to share a few words with you. Let me begin by thanking Xavier Freitas and Adam Hurwitz from UVM's Upward Bound program for hosting this event. And let me welcome Upward Bound participants from all across the state of Vermont. On this celebratory day, I want to take a moment to honor and memorialize UVM Upward Bound student Christian Kibabu. I have no doubt that Christian's passion for life personally touched so many of those around him. Christian's strength of character will not be forgotten. As I think many of you know, Congress created Upward Bound 53 years ago to help prepare high school students to attend college, particularly students from low-income families and students from families where neither parent went to college. The idea was to overcome the many barriers these students faced that too often resulted in their deciding not to go to college, even though they may have been some of the brightest kids in their class and have done very well in high school. Needless to say, for me, this is a very personal issue. My father dropped out of school when he was very, very young. My mother never went to college. So my brother and I were the very first people in our family to get a college education. And I will tell you that it was very, very difficult. I ended up being at the University of Chicago, and in many ways, it was a painful experience. Many of the other kids there, their parents were doctors or lawyers or business people, people who had a lot of money. My family did not have a lot of money. And it took a lot of work and adjustment for me to end up feeling comfortable at the university. The truth is that what Congress did 53 years ago in creating the Upward Bound program is more important today than it was then. Because the truth is that the world has changed a whole lot in 53 years. 53 years ago, it was possible, if you had a high school degree, to go out and get a good job and make it into the middle class. Today, that is most often not the case. Today, in our highly competitive global economy, if you're going to make it into the middle class, if you're going to earn a decent living, the likelihood is that you're going to need some higher education. And that's simply the truth. In many ways, a college degree today is the equivalent of what a high school degree was 53 years ago. And what Upward Bound is about, and you know this better than I do, what it says to kids, often lower income kids, kids whose parents never went to college, it takes them and it says, you know what? You are as smart as anybody else in your school. You know, even if your father is not the president of the bank, if your mother didn't go to Harvard, doesn't matter. If you study hard and do well in high school, you're going to make it in college. And if you've never been on a college campus, we're going to take you to a college campus. And if you've never met a college professor, you're going to sit down and talk to a college professor. And what you are going to understand is that you can make it, that you can do as well as anybody else can do. And we're going to help you fill out the complicated forms. Clearly, one of the great crises we have in the country today is that the cost of college is soaring, that financial aid from the federal government has been in significant decline in terms of the cost of college. And that is why, among other things, I am working very, very hard to make public colleges and universities tuition free. I want anybody in this country who has the ability and the desire to be able to go to college regardless of their income and not come out of school deeply in debt. But to make all of that work well, to tell young people that they can do well in college requires programs like Upward Bound, which have been extraordinarily successful. And they've been successful because they've had great staff working very closely with the young people, helping them fill out the forms, helping them get to college campuses, giving them the confidence that they need when they're in high school and when they're in college. So I am going to do everything that I can to see that Mr. Trump does not get away with cutting financial aid for young people who want to go to college. We're going to do everything we can to increase financial aid. And we're going to move forward on the proposal that we should make public colleges and universities tuition free and substantially lower the level of student debt that exists in this country. Because one of the crises we face is not just that people can't afford to go into college, it's what happens when they leave school, $50,000, $100,000, or if they leave graduate school, $200,000 in debt. Many other countries, as you know, do not have tuition for their public colleges and universities, and their students graduate debt-free, and that's what we should be doing. So, once again, congratulations for coming together. Let me congratulate all of you who are in the Upward Bound program and all of the staff and the mentors who are out there. You're doing a great job. This is a program which has an incredible record of success. So thank you very much, and hopefully next year I'll be able to be with you in person. But keep up the good work. Thank you.